Hi, I'm Olivia Moses, and today I wanted to talk about the three parenting styles that were theorized by Diana Baumrind. So, the three parenting styles that she talks about are the authoritative, the authoritarian, and the permissive parenting styles. So, the first one, on kind of the extreme of the spectrum, is the authoritarian parenting style. These parents have high expectations and kind of with no ifs, ands, or buts. They expect their children to behave strictly and to not ask any questions. And if they do, the answer is usually because I said so. They are big authority figures in their families and especially to their children. They don't really take no for an answer. These parents are extremely strict. And one thing that I kind of found interesting was that she mentions that most abusive parents would fit into this category of parenting style, but not all parents that parent this way are abusive. The next parenting style is kind of on the other end of the spectrum, and this is the permissive parenting style. So they're kind of the opposite of the authoritarian in extreme. They don't discipline much because they don't have many rules or expectations for their children. And they don't really expect their children to have a lot of self-control or develop much self-regulation. They don't enforce rules or punishments really, and they are very focused on their children's needs and wants. So they're very responsive, but they don't have many consequences or expectations for their children. These parents are not viewed really as authority figures in their children's lives, and they are not demanding at all. Usually they're seen more as a friend figure than a parent. And so that is why it's so different from the authoritarian parenting style. The third parenting style, which is kind of the happy medium, is the authoritative parenting style. So these parents, they have high expectations for their children, but they also have a lot of nurture and love for their children as well. They expect their children to perform well and to be able to self-regulate and follow directions and be obedient children, but they also are very responsive and are willing and open to answering and talking about their children's questions and concerns that may be raised. There are consequences for actions, but these parents are more nurturing and forgiving when their children may not follow through the way that they had hoped they would. So these parents are very supportive rather than restrictive. So as it is in most everything else in child development, the way that these children are parented often tends to bleed into all other aspects of their life. And especially growing up in school and social situations, these children's parenting styles affect their lives. So with the authoritarian parenting style, children that are raised in this environment, they tend to be very obedient, but they lack in happiness and self-esteem. Children raised in a permissive parenting style also tend to be less happy, which I thought was kind of interesting. And they also often struggle in school with subjects and in other areas of their life where authority figures are present and are expected to be respected because they're not used to that in their daily home life. And then children who are raised in an authoritative parenting style often tend to be happier and to be more successful in other areas of their life. So overall, it was really interesting for me to learn about these different parenting styles by Diana Baumrind and to kind of see how I was raised and where I would classify that, and also how I want to parent when I am a parent and have my own children. I found it really interesting, especially that both the authoritarian and permissive parenting styles resulted in children who had lower levels of happiness. I think that kind of shows a lot that children need a happy medium. They need to have expectations for them, but they also need love and support to be able to fulfill those expectations. And they need their needs met and they need to be loved, but they also do need authority in their lives, and they need rules that will help them to be successful and learn self-control and self-regulation and those things that will help them to be successful not only in their family but in school and in social interactions and every other area of their life.